for the snap, got it, gonna hand it off, and no, he kept it, he's got it, he's gonna score! Dennis is gonna score at the 10, he's at the 5, and he saunters into the end zone.
Thank you so much for doing this, I appreciate it.
Absolutely, thanks for having me.
Anytime. So how long have you been living in Oregon?
How long have I been living in Oregon? I've been living in Oregon, if you want to count the Oregon days, about a total of 9 to 10 years.
And why come back to Oregon?
Why I come back to Oregon? I mean, the community is great here. They served me so well when I was here playing for the University of Oregon for 4 years. I have a second family here as well, too. My dad's side of the family is here as well, so it's almost like a second home for me. But at the same time, I knew like life after football, I always wanted to work for Nike, and obviously the headquarters is here, and I just wanted to make opportunities come true.
With you wanting to work at Nike, how come you decided to stop?
I decided that I really wanted to kind of do my own thing. When I was inside, I was doing brand marketing for the Jordan brand, specializing in football and baseball training. It was some things that I could have really wanted to take up a notch, but I didn't really have the clout to actually do it. And I always had Dixon Fit in the back of my mind because I was always working out anyway. It was one day to where I was working out with one of my friends, and he really gave me an idea as to hey, I should consider doing the fitness business. And that's when it took a turn for the better for me, and I decided to really just do that full time. And I haven't looked back since November of last year when I decided to leave Nike, but no hard felt at all whatsoever, no bad blood whatsoever as well. Looking to actually do some projects here in the summertime with them as well. So I decided just to really just be my own boss. Always really wanted to be that entrepreneur type of person because I know that I'm driven, and I would definitely bet on myself all the time.
With Dixon Fit, is it just training sessions, or could you talk a little bit more about Dixon Fit?
Yeah, it's funny. It's Dixon Fit. I really want it to really be a 365 proposition, a yearly type of thing. I know my niche. My niche will always be that performance elite training athlete, but at the same time, I really want to cater to obviously the general population and the youth. And I'm all about community too. I really want to give back, and the platform of doing that for myself right now is fitness, something that I'm definitely used to. I just want to be able to just show my wisdom and pour my wisdom onto other people that really want it, regardless if you're an athlete, general population, any type of limitations or whatever it is. I really wanted to be a 365 proposition.
Wanting to help out just the general population or athletes, what else do you think you would like to see come out of it?
Yes, I would love to see Dixon Fit grow, more so as of a team. I think, for myself, doing this full-time as of last year in November, I've really just tried to build a foundation for myself by myself. But at the same time, I can't do anything by myself. So, throughout this process, trying to actually gather a dream team, if you will, to make sure things are really polished as to what my vision really sees through and through. I'm looking for a lifetime type of relationship with a lot of people. So I'm in the process of doing that right now. At the same time, I really want to be able to open a gym of my own. Just kind of really just build that legacy outside of football, and just knowing that I really want to be able to do that for sure.
And with opening your own gym, where would you like to see it in Beaverton or a different area of Oregon?
I would like to solidify myself first in Beaverton, close to Nike for sure, with, potential sponsorships and everything coming down the pipeline. But, I would love to get back to Eugene, obviously back to my hometown in the Bay Area as well, too. But I want to be able to start my foundation first and foremost here in the Portland area.
And as of right now in the Portland area, are most or all your sessions in this area?
It is. Most of them, generally all my sessions is pretty much here in the downtown area as well. I branch out from time to time because I do have a lot of resources that are elsewhere in the Bay Area, particularly in LA and Chicago right now too. A lot of friends in that area as well, but most 9 times out of 10, I'm pretty much located here in Portland.
Sorry, I'd like to talk about your days at Oregon. So I read your bio off of Dixon Fit, and we've been following you since college days. How come, coming from Oakland, you chose the University of Oregon?
I chose University of Oregon. It was out of the University of Washington in Arizona. At that time, I was going heavy into football and baseball, going to a school. but it didn't really turn out that way. I really wanted to go to be honest, I was going to be a Bruin, but that didn't happen. Coaching change happened, and obviously scholarships changed and everything. So I had to choose between UW or the University of Oregon. And at that time, someone that I really looked up to, Keely Smith, I really wanted to follow back into his footsteps and be able to put the program as to where it was when he was playing for sure, and enjoy Arrington era as well too.
As you come in freshman year at Oregon, you're the backup to Kellen Clemens. And then your next year you become a starter. Could you take me through like kind of your mentality transitioning from freshman to sophomore? Were you sure that you were going to be the starter?
I wasn't sure at all. It was between me and Brady Leaf at the time. It was someone that I was really trying to get dialed into just the Oregon system. I think at that time when Mike Bellotti was more under the center, more of a pro-style kind of an offense. Once I transitioned to my sophomore year, obviously that's when kind of Chip Kelly and everything came around, and that's when we started doing the zone read. I'm Gary Croton, I'm sorry, before Chip Kelly. But, you know, our actual option came upon, and that's when my talents really took off to the next level, and I was really kind of excited. And the team saw that, coaches saw that as well, too, and I really put my best foot forward with that whole thing, and I never looked back.
I know you were drafted twice, if I'm not mistaken, in baseball.
I was.
How come you decided to stay with football?
In baseball, I got drafted out of high school, but decided not to go because education was important to my mom at the time. And baseball, you can get drafted again your second time your junior year in college. So I decided to go do that. I really wanted to get my scholarship and everything too, which was great. And once I got drafted my junior year with the Atlanta Braves in the 5th round, I was kind of surprised because University of Oregon didn't have a baseball team at the time, but I was always polished and making sure that I kept in contact with my agent at the same time to make sure that I was polished for that actual pro day. And I actually killed it. It was amazing, and I'm happy for the Atlanta Braves organization for giving me an opportunity to even actually play that summer.
What made you come back?
What made me come back? I really wanted to come back from my last senior season. I had a lot of good friends on that team, and they said that we can really kill it. And by that time, you know, Chip Kelly came upon, and he really came out to Orlando, Florida to actually come back and actually get me back and excited to get play football again. Because for people that do not know, baseball is my first love, but I decided not to do that. I really wanted to go back for my senior year and see what happens. And it was a magical year. It definitely didn't end the way that I really wanted to, but I'm happy that I did that. I did it not only for my teammates, for my family as well too, and from a great program in the Oregon Ducks.
You know, you mentioned Chip, and when he comes in your senior year, were you kind of nervous about adding a different coach to your senior year, or do you think, like, right off the bat, you guys kind of clicked?
I think right off the bat we clicked because Mike Bellotti was still the head coach, but we just had a new offensive coordinator that had a different type of a scheme. I was kind of scared in that realm, but I knew that he really still wanted to do that zone read things that I was definitely accustomed to the previous year with Gary Croton and team. But he took it to the next level. Chip Kelly gave me a lot of good confidence going into the year, into my senior year. He put me in good situations. At all times, for sure. He gave you bad situations in practice, so when the game came, it became easy for you, which is amazing for me. A lot of good film, and definitely a great offensive guru, I must say. I'm happy just to be able to have that experience under him because he was a great coach through and through.
I wanted to ask about the NFL. I know you won 2 Super Bowls. You played behind Big Ben and then Joe Flacco. Could you kind of say like how they are? Like, were they pretty good leaders, or not trying to get you to bash them or anything, but like how were they as teammates?
Very great. I would say, you know, just starting with the Steelers organization, that's a great blue-collar type of a team for sure. Definitely a good defense to go against on a daily basis. So I really got a lot of good looks, you know, even in practice, even in preseason games, everything. They prepared like no other. And they took care of their players as well, too. Mike Tomlin made sure that his players were definitely fresh regardless of what opportunity came their way. And I never took that for granted. Not only but Ben, but Charlie Batch. I know he took me under his wing as well, too, being that backup. Really didn't know what that whole situation was going into that actual pro type of a caliber. But he taught me how to be a professional on and off the field, not only him, but obviously Ben as well. But transitioning to Baltimore, pretty much the same thing. You had one of the best defenses in the league at that time, ran by Ray Lewis. I had a lot of good opportunities there as well. Had an amazing year as well too, as far as growth. I never, second guess any of their talents. I'm happy for those two organizations for obviously giving me an opportunity to obviously just exploit my expertise on things, and I will be forever grateful.
After the NFL, recently saw you play in the Professional Flag Football League. How was that?
It's good to get back on the gridiron. I just always try to measure myself like, do I still got it? And I would say I do. I definitely pride myself on just continuing to be fit in the best way possible. And just being an opportunity like that, it's not a lot of contact. So it's all about just getting back to that camaraderie, something that I very miss when I'm playing on an actual organized team. It's definitely different than corporate life, right? I mean, you have a team there, but it's something about a locker room camaraderie that will always be with me through and through, because that's all I've been known, from baseball, football, and basketball. It's the same. That team camaraderie is something that I truly miss. And just playing back to that flag football, I love it. Year 3 is actually coming this year, so I'm looking forward to year 3. We're going to be playing in July again, so stay tuned to that.
So you being a former athlete at Oregon, do you think the athletes coming into college are being pressured more to take money to go to a certain college?
I think, to be honest, I think college is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be a good opportunity. But now it's almost becoming like a business-oriented type of thing, coming from high school into college.
Where the players also don't get paid.
Where the players also don't actually get paid. I think it's definitely a lot more structure to this whole thing, and I don't think it's in a good way. I think a lot of players definitely have a lot of pressure going into once they finish high school into the college situation. But at the same time, I just hope they go into it with an open mind and know that, they're going to put their best foot forward regardless of whatever happens. And that's all I ask. And I think for myself, too, that's what I was going into. I just wanted to represent my last name very well on and off the field. And I know that they will do that as well, too. But they just got to be able to let everything go and just be able to play for themselves and no one else, because it will be outside noise. But it's up to what you got to do.
Thank you so much. That's all I have for you.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Absolutely.